found a tube, and the minute I opened it, the smell transported me through time.
This one's wife. Quick, Harry, change the pictures before they notice. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. There has been plenty of brouhaha as of late in relation to the digital alteration or enhancement of photographs. It's widely understood by the general public that many of the pictures that appear in print have been altered in some way. The colour might have been enhanced, the picture might have been sharpened. We're also well used to seeing certain pictures that circulate on social media which draw the attention of the suggestion that it is artificial intelligence or that there's been some photoshopping involved. In some instances, the picture is so clearly ridiculous that it's clear that it's been photoshopped. In other instances, it's less apparent, and there is concern about the fraudulent application of such pictures. The Princess of Wales found herself falling foul of the digital alteration of a photograph that she issued on her own social media on Mother's Day, as she wanted to share with the world a picture of her and her children, evidently feeling pressured to do so as a consequence of the repeated rumours circulating her in relation to her absence. It was then noted that in the picture there were numerous errors, so to speak, which resulted in it having a kill notice applied to it. Naturally, this one's wife wanted to jump on the bandwagon to ensure that attention was coming her way and not just going to Kate, but also to gain some leverage from it by ensuring that it was announced that she wouldn't fall foul of making such a schoolgirl error as that made by Kate, since she had a freakish eye for detail. Of course, with the predictability of this one's wife when it comes to the in-the-now compartmentalization of her narcissism caused her to have it known that she wouldn't make such a mistake in order to get one over on Kate, without thinking about the fact that many of the photographs that she has released have raised repeated suspicions of digital enhancement, alteration, or out-and-out Photoshop. And in parts passing, I provided you with some of those photographs which have been suspected of such alterations. It's typical of this one's wife that her narcissism will cause her to do something in the moment without thinking about the repercussions, the collateral consequences. And they've done so once again in encouraging and whipping up a frenzy around the issuing of a photoshopped or edited photograph from the Princess of Wales and trying to portray her as some kind of fraudulent charlatan. The fact is, this one's wife narcissism forgets that this would then cause lots of people to start scrutinising her own photographs and then point out, well, you might criticise the Princess of Wales, but people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. There's a bit of the pot calling the kettle black here. Your photographs have been altered. Oh, no, they haven't, cries this one's wife in an attempt to nullify the threats to control. But let's look a little bit deeper into what's been going on. First of all, you'll be able to see this. This is the christening photograph that was released in relation to the christening of Archie. You'll probably have seen this on a number of occasions. Naturally, we have this one's wife right at the centre of the action, holding Archie, ensuring that she's in the middle, as she always prefers. Next to her is the Prince of Pink Pancakes, Dad. And then we also have Camilla, who at the time was Duchess of Cornwall, Prince Charles, who at the time was the Prince of Wales, then Doria Ragland, some representation from this one's wife's family. Oh no, he's not there, not involved anymore. Then there's Lady Jane Fellows and Lady Sarah McCorkdale, Prince William, who was Duke of Cambridge at the time and uncle, and Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, who at the time, held that title as Auntie. So immediate members, Grandad, Grandma, Step-Grandma, Great Aunts, and, of course, Uncle and Auntie, along with Mum and Dad. So a lovely picture, I'm sure you will agree. And this was taken, apparently, in the Green Drawing Room at Windsor Castle on July the 6th in 2019. Next is that same photograph where somebody has undertaken some detective work querying various aspects of the photograph to suggest that, lo and behold, there's an altered photograph. The detective, I'm not sure who it is, so I'm not able to provide them with credit, but they've asked questions such as, where are the back legs to the chair that Catherine sat upon? She doesn't actually appear to be sitting properly on the chair. It's as if she's been moved onto it. She appears flat against William's jacket, almost mannequin-like. Oh, that's been misspelled. Her face seems distorted on one side. There's a suggestion that the ring that's being worn by this one's wife is bigger. That the Camilla looks as though she's been cropped in around the dress and edges. And there are various criticisms of what people are wearing, but there's also repeated instances of querying the way that the image has been put together. Now, whether those observations are accurate or are not, well, you can make a decision about that. There's certain aspects of it which do appear to have some weight with regard to what has been suggested, and that there might have been some manipulation of this particular picture. Next, we have the picture again, but this time with its appropriate details on Getty Images. And as you'll see on the right of the screen, it provides the details, who's to be credited, the editorial number, the collection, the date that it was created, the date that it was uploaded, etc., etc. And in the restrictions, it states, contact your local office for all commercial or promotional uses. Editor's note, image has been digitally enhanced at source. So there is a note, an admission, a representation that this particular image has been digitally enhanced, whatever that means. It might mean that the colours have been made sharper, that the image has been made more clear, that it might mean that it's been enhanced in the sense of pulling together composite images. We're not entirely sure what it means, but what it does tell us is that that photograph isn't as is. There's been some form of manipulation that has taken place with regard to it, just as there was in relation to the Princess of Wales's photograph. So, unsurprisingly, we find that this one's wife, attempting to make a big song and dance about what the Princess of Wales has done, is fallen foul of similar release of a photograph which she and her husband and her child are in, that has been digitally enhanced. Now, there's no suggestion that she's undertaken the enhancement, but the point is that there is a photograph that has been released that she and her husband and her son are the centerpiece of, that had been digitally enhanced. And they knew this was the case. Why? Well, look at this. This is the latest representation of the christening photograph on Getty Images. Same image, I'm sure you'll agree. Go across to the details. Usual stuff about credit, editorial number, etc. But in restrictions, contact your local office for all commercial or promotional uses. Getty Images provides access to this publicly distributed image for editorial purposes and is not the copyright owner. Additional permissions may be required and are the sole responsibility of the end user. Notice that the reference to the digital enhancement has now gone. Yes, there would appear to be some skullduggery going on, that somebody has realised that something that involved the Sussexes was guilty of something similar to that which the Princess of Wales was involved in. And that as a consequence of this, they needed to ensure that there was no suggestion that they've ever been involved in any digital enhancement chicanery. And thus, someone has been told to go to Getty and make sure that it no longer represents that the image is digitally enhanced. In other words, they have sought to cover up the enhancement of a photograph in order to deflect from criticism that they have been involved in the similar kind of behaviour to that of the Princess of Wales. Now, as I've explained, it's generally accepted that images have some kind of retouching and sharpening going on in relation to them. But this, once again, demonstrates, driven by her narcissism, the behaviour of this one's wife, whereby, first of all, she seeks to criticise the Princess of Wales, suggesting, oh, I'd never engage in that kind of behaviour. Then it causes many people to say, well, actually you have, because here are lots of examples of photographs that we suggest that have been tampered with, and there's lots of question marks over what you can see in it, and in particular, the christening photograph is identified. Then, actually, you have issued a photograph that's been digitally enhanced because Getty said as such. But then, that digital enhancement has disappeared, which shows that you do have something to hide and you're attempting to do so, but you've been caught out. It's only right that I bring this chicanery to your attention courtesy of a post from Quiet Vanilla, who's posting on behalf of Sia Breeze from the Saint This One's Wife subreddit. They use her full name, as you know, I do not. This is they that have uncovered this discrepancy with regard to covering up the fact that the image was digitally enhanced at source and then removing that. Once again, the hypocrisy of this one's wife, claiming that she wouldn't engage in the kind of behaviour that the Princess of Wales has done so, and then, when it's revealed that she in effect has, because there's a photograph and there's more besides, but in particular this one, demonstrates there has been digital enhancement, steps are taken just days later to remove the reference to the digital enhancement. Well, Harry might well have been issued with the instruction to change the pictures before anybody noticed, but there are a couple of sleuths on the subreddit at Saint This One's Wife who were alive to these matters and picked it up before the cover-up could be complete. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.